Imagine sitting at your desk late at night while a seemingly harmless $14 monthly subscription silently drains your bank account without your conscious permission. You probably believe that every single item you purchased this week was the direct result of your own independent, rational free will and logical decision-making. What most people never realize is that elite behavioral design teams spent millions of dollars engineering the exact layout to exploit your evolutionary cognitive vulnerabilities. There is a hidden psychological trap hidden inside your favorite applications, and almost nobody is warning you about how deeply it alters your financial future. I break down one deep psychological concept per video in plain English, so if you want to understand how companies manipulate your mind, please subscribe now. To truly understand how deeply this system is rigged against your wallet, we must look at a groundbreaking 1979 study by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. These legendary researchers discovered a concept known as loss aversion, proving that the psychological pain of losing money is twice as powerful as the joy of winning. Your ancient brain did not evolve to navigate modern digital interfaces, meaning it treats a simple digital checkout sequence like a literal fight for physical survival. Before I reveal the most terrifying corporate tactic used by companies like Amazon, which will completely change how you shop, we must examine how digital environments are built. Princeton University researchers analyzed over 11,000 shopping websites and discovered that more than 11% of them contain deeply deceptive design architecture. Tech industry insiders officially call these manipulative visual layouts dark patterns because they are specifically built to trick your eyes into clicking expensive options. Think about the last time you tried to cancel a simple free trial online, only to find yourself trapped inside a confusing maze of questions. The corporate engineers deliberately changed the colors of the buttons so that the cancel option looks gray, while the keep subscription button glows brightly. This is not accidental design clutter. It is highly optimized choice architecture meant to exhaust your decision-making energy until you completely give up trying. The system relies entirely on your brain choosing the path of least resistance, which silently locks you into a recurring cycle of automated financial drain. But here is the part that researchers themselves found shocking when they monitored the neurological responses of consumers navigating these exact types of websites. Your brain releases a tiny surge of dopamine the moment you see a countdown timer telling you that only 2 items remain in stock. This artificial scarcity triggers a deep evolutionary panic that bypasses your logical prefrontal cortex and forces you to purchase things you never actually wanted. Booking platforms and retail giants use these fake ticking clocks because they know your primitive mind cannot stand the thought of missing out on resources. You are not making a conscious choice to spend your hard-earned capital. You are simply reacting to a calculated chemical override engineered by experts. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you in the next 2 minutes is the part that exposes the entire corporate playbook. Look closely at how food delivery applications default your selection to the most expensive delivery option or automatically check the box for premium insurance coverages. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler proved that human beings almost always stick with the default configuration because changing it requires conscious physical and mental effort. By making the expensive option the automatic default, multi-billion-dollar corporations effortlessly redirect millions of dollars from ordinary families directly into their portfolios. You might think that saving an extra $5 here and there does not matter, but over a lifetime, this manipulation costs thousands. The name for this specific strategy is default bias, and once you become consciously aware of it, you will notice it on every website. Every user interface you interact with has been precisely calibrated by data scientists who track your exact eye movements and mouse clicks to maximize profit. They utilize advanced predictive algorithms to understand exactly when your willpower is lowest, usually targeting you with pop-up advertisements late at night. Think about the last time you browsed an online store and suddenly felt an overwhelming, inexplicable urge to complete a purchase you had not planned. That exact feeling was carefully manufactured through thousands of split tests designed to lower your cognitive defenses and accelerate your transactional velocity. Most consumers believe they are completely immune to advertising, which is precisely why these subtle neurological triggers are so incredibly dangerous and effective. When a website hides the actual total cost until the final screen, they are exploiting a psychological phenomenon that anchors your mind to the lower price. You have already invested time and emotional energy into the process, making you far more likely to accept unexpected processing fees at the very end. This calculated friction makes backing out feel like a massive loss, forcing your brain to justify the extra expenditure rather than abandoning the digital cart. Large technology platforms track your past purchasing history to create highly personalized, dynamic pricing models that change depending on your current location data. If the algorithm detects that you are accessing their platform from an expensive neighborhood or a premium device, the base cost frequently increases. This asymmetric information ensures that you are always paying the absolute maximum amount that your specific psychological profile is willing to tolerate. What makes this entire apparatus so sinister is that it operates completely beneath your conscious awareness while maintaining the absolute perfect illusion of freedom. You believe you are browsing a neutral digital marketplace, but you are actually walking through a carefully constructed psychological minefield engineered for corporate extraction. The ultimate goal of this choice architecture is to transform active, deliberate human beings into completely passive, predictable streams of monthly recurring revenue. When you look at your bank statement at the end of the year, those tiny automated microtransactions accumulate into massive financial deficits. The elite institutions who deploy these behavioral economics tactics understand human psychology far better than the average individual understands their own subconscious mind. They rely heavily on the fact that modern life is incredibly fast-paced, leaving you with very little spare attention to audit their interfaces. By constantly draining small amounts of attention and capital, they ensure that the consumer remains perpetually dependent on the next transactional dopamine hit. Breaking free from this invisible algorithmic cage requires more than just basic willpower. It requires a systematic understanding of their operational strategies. Once you recognize the exact visual patterns they use to manipulate you, their power over your subconscious decision-making immediately begins to dissolve. You must consciously train yourself to look for the hidden checkmarks and deliberately question every single urgent notification that appears on screen. The next time an application tells you that an offer expires in 5 minutes, take a deep breath and deliberately close the browser window entirely. By introducing intentional behavioral friction into your digital routines, you effectively reclaim control over your prefrontal cortex and your financial destiny. Do not allow multi-billion-dollar conglomerates to dictate your lifestyle choices through predatory engineering designs that treat you like a laboratory animal. Now let us pull this entire picture together so you can understand exactly how to defend your mind and your bank account moving forward. We learned that companies weaponize loss aversion to make cancellation terrifying, and they deploy dark patterns to confuse your eyes during critical financial moments. They construct fake scarcity with automated countdown timers to trigger deep chemical panic, while using default biases to make overspending the easiest possible path. They track your behavior across platforms to optimize dynamic pricing, ensuring that your cognitive vulnerabilities are constantly monetized without your explicit knowledge. They rely on your cognitive exhaustion to push hidden fees through at the absolute last second when your psychological defenses are completely worn down. To defeat this system entirely, you must implement the 24-hour friction rule by forcing yourself to wait before completing any digital purchase. Make it a non-negotiable rule to audit your active digital subscriptions every single month, ruthlessly cutting the hidden financial leaks draining your accounts. Change your device settings to opt out of personalized tracking data, which immediately starves their predictive algorithms of the fuel they need to manipulate you. Share this critical information with your family members so that they can protect their hard-earned savings from these highly predatory corporate frameworks. Subscribe if this insight helped you, and please share this video with one person who deserves to protect their mind from these hidden corporate traps.